YouTube, what's going down? It is your boy Russo, and as you can tell by the title, we'll be talking about the greatest games of LeBron James's career. LeBron is often regarded as the greatest of all time convo with Michael Jordan, and you can debate that either one is better than the other, but that's for another day. We will not compare the two. I'm just saying he's in that caliber of great players. He has had an amazing career. And in this video, we'll be going over the top 5 games of his career. Now, if you are mad if I ranked a game over another game where you think should be higher, then you have every right to be. I don't blame you. He's pretty fucking good at the game of basketball. Like, good God, you have no idea how hard it was to make this list. You could make 7 different videos on this topic for LeBron James, and you could put him in this video as well. Like 7 different parts. So he is an amazing, he's a pretty special talent. But I did try my best to try and rank them in order as how I feel it was, and I feel like it's pretty accurate. So if you do go and enjoy the video, please be sure to like and leave a subscription if you are new to the channel. We are close to that 650 subscriber mark, so it would be cool as beans if we could hit that off this. Also, this will be a new series on the channel, so if you want me to make a video on your favorite player's best game, hey, the comment section is there, leave it down below. Chances are I will do your request, and hey, as an incentive, I'll also give you a shout out. Woo, who don't like shout outs, am I right? But without further ado, let's finally talk about the greatest games of LeBron James' career. So it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals in 2013, always an exciting time, Game 7, winner takes all. And if you remember prior to this game, in Game 6, Ray Allen, he hit that shot, quote unquote, to send the series to a Game 7. So here we are. LeBron knew he had to put in an all-time performance to beat the San Antonio Spurs, coached by one of the greatest coaches of all time in Greg Popovich, and had players such as Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, a super young Kawhi Leonard, and Danny Green. And if you watched this series, you knew Danny Green, that boy, he was hitting him in the parking lot. I remember watching this, and Danny Green would piss me off because he was hitting literally everything. But regardless, LeBron knew he had to put in an amazing performance because this Spurs team was stacked. And the next year, well, the Spurs pretty much killed the Heat, sadly. And that's, So this year, though, it was Game 7, and LeBron came up huge. He went on to drop 37 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and shot a really impressive 52% from the field. And if you remember this version of LeBron James, 2012-13, in my opinion, the greatest version of LeBron James ever. Like, he shot like 56% from the field that season. He was just super efficient, athletic as anything, and he was just an amazing, in my opinion, his greatest season ever as a player. But the Heat went on to win Game 7, of course. The Heat went back-to-back, one last year against the Thunder, one this year against the San Antonio Spurs. And LeBron went on to claim a 2nd ring of his career. So in my opinion, this is the 5th best game of LeBron James' career. And you look at this stat line and the circumstances, Game 7 against the San Antonio Spurs, that was pretty damn impressive. So we're throwing it all the way back to the 2007 Eastern Conference Finals, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Detroit Pistons, Game 5. So now LeBron's in his 4th year in his career, and it was pretty obvious he had more than lived up to the hype that came with being the second coming of Jordan. And this was the game where we really see him solidify his place as a future all-time player. Keep in mind, he's just in his 4th season, so pretty impressive. And in the first 16 minutes of the game, LeBron would score 29 of the Cavs' 30 points, including the team's final 25 points on, hey, you guessed it, an efficient 11 of 13 shooting from the field. How'd he end up, you say? Just 48 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, shot 18 to 33 from the field, Not bad for, 23, 24 at the time, pretty good. He would also force overtime with 9 seconds remaining and then finish off the game at double overtime. And the performance silenced any doubt regarding if he'd be a generational player. He went on to win the MVP, his first MVP of 4, like 2 seasons later. And if there was any haters saying LeBron, he's just a few seasons, he will never be an MVP, this is that in the 3rd, he silenced them all. The only person that still don't think high of LeBron James is Skip Bayless. So Skip Bayless, go fuck yourself. I'm not a bronze sexual, but you have to admire his talent. What a player. This is number 4 on his list, and you could argue it could be higher, because this is really the first game where we saw LeBron, show that he's a generational talent on this, the high, like Eastern Conference Final. This is the highest he's been in his career. So pretty damn impressive. So 2016 Finals, we all remember it for one reason: the Warriors blowing that 3-1 lead. So the Warriors had just lost Game 5. Bron, he had a pretty good game in Game 5. He dropped 41 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 assists. But you'll realize that was Game 5. We're not even talking about that. That didn't even make the list. We are talking about Game 6. So, to beat the Warriors again, because the Warriors up 3-1, Cavs stolen on the road. They knew if they can win at the Quicken Loans Arena in Game 6, they had the momentum to win at Game 7, and hey, of course they did. So now down 3-2 in the series, LeBron, he had to put in an all-time impressive performance to tie it up 3-3. He finished again with 41 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks, shot 16 of 27 from the field. He was the jack of all trades. And while the stats were super impressive, it also came up against, the Warriors I mentioned, the 15-16 Warriors. And if you remember, they went 73-9 in the regular season, the greatest ever, statistically, the greatest ever season in history of the NBA. So, they were up 3-1 that series, and LeBron, he got the Cavs back to win 4-3. He also had that block in Game 7. We all know that block on Iguodala. Cavs win in 7. LeBron goes on to win his 3rd NBA championship and 3rd Finals MVP. For the 2nd greatest game of LeBron James' career, we have the 1st game of the NBA Finals in 2018. And we all remember this game. You'll either remember it for the amazing game LeBron had, which we will get into, or, you probably remember it for J.R. Smith being classic J.R. Smith. George Hill misses the 2nd free throw, JR got the rebound and thought his team was up, yada yada, we know the story. But instead of talking about his teammates' choke, we will focus on probably the greatest finals game ever on a losing team. If he feels a win, this would be number 1 on the list, but he lost. I have to put that to detriment, but whatever. So, LeBron dropped an amazing 51 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds on 19 of 32 shooting. He nearly dropped a 50-point triple-double in the finals against one of the greatest teams of all time. Just freakish stat. Because the crazy thing is, he had Kevin Love. He was alright that series, but LeBron, he was the number 1 focus of the defense. Previous years, you had the likes of Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, even Ray Allen, kind of. And then with the Cavs, you had Kyrie Irving, and then Kevin Love. But this was the year Kyrie Irving went to Boston, got traded, of course, and that whole Cavs team, there was so much turmoil in that Cavs team. Remember, they blew up halfway through, but whatever. So, to get that Cavs team to the finals, which had like Rodney Hood, J.R. Smith, of course, George Hill, I'm trying to remember who else was on there, to get that to the finals, that in its own deserved the bloody championship. Look at these final stats. Love, he played okay, he averaged 19 points, but other than that, my god, that team was absolute dog shit. Like, how the fuck did LeBron James drag this team to the finals? Before we do get to number 1 though, we do have some quick honorable mentions. They were fantastic games. They didn't make the list. Once again, you could put these on the list. They were really hard to leave out, but I will quickly list them off. 2010, returned to Cleveland as a Miami Heat player, dropped 38 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He dropped 57 points against the Washington Wizards 2017, including 7 assists and 11 rebounds. Dropped 56 points as a 20-year-old versus Toronto. He dropped a career high of 61 points versus Charlotte, one of my favourite games of all time as a Heat fan. And he dropped 41 points as a 19-year-old, which includes 13 assists, 6 rebounds against the New Jersey Nets. Okay, we got that out the way? Yep, alright. Let's get on to LeBron James' greatest game of his career. So here we are for his number 1 game of his career. Game 6, Eastern Conference 2012. You might remember it for pulling this face. When you see this face, you know you're going to lose the game. And you consider the stakes. LeBron was 1 loss away from falling short of a title in his first 2 seasons in Miami. Remember the season before, he really was a mediocre player in that series against the Mavericks. So, Miami, he said he was going to win, 8 championships with them. So he was 1 loss away from arguably one of the most embarrassing teams. They were so hyped up and they couldn't even make the finals in their first 2 years. So one loss away from spending another summer listening to the media debate whether he had what it takes to win a title, because at this point he had never won a career, and that was the one thing holding LeBron back from being in that all-time convo. He had never won an NBA Finals MVP or an NBA championship, so he was one loss away from never being mentioned in the same breath as Michael Jordan. He even said recently if the Heat lost this game, Pat Riley, the Heat president, may have blew up the team next offseason. He knew he had to simply win this, for not only for himself and the city of Miami, but because his legacy was at stake. More than that though, LeBron James the person, he had been pushed to his breaking point. He wanted to win the championship this year, and Game 6 was deeply personal. LeBron dropped 45 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and shot 19 of 26 from the field. And it was hard too, you know why? Because they played this at the TD Garden. They played this in Boston against the team that had Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. So it was no walk in the park, that's for sure. And LeBron, he put on an all-time performance. Like, not only he dropped 45 points, that's cool, but he shot 73% from the field. He was crazy efficient. He delivered and all. Like, if you watch this game, you'd understand. This is one of my favorite games ever. I mean, it's my favorite LeBron game ever. And he was insane. As a Heat fan, I just remember him. As soon as he got the ball in the post, he'd put it up. He wouldn't miss. He dropped, I think, 28 points in the first half. And it was just a spectacle to watch. It was my favorite LeBron James game ever. And it should be yours too. I don't know how you can debate it's not. Like, you have to consider everything was on the line. If he lost this, the Heat may have blew up the team. So he knew he simply had to win, and he lived up to that moment. And this is why, in my opinion, it is the greatest game we will ever see from LeBron James. He might have a bet on the Lakers in the future, who knows? But at this point, the 26th of March 2019, this is the greatest LeBron James game of his career. Anyways fellas, that is going to do it for me this video. If you did go enjoy it and you grew up the list, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment on who I should do a video on next, one of your favourite players, why not, or leave a comment if I missed out in the game or misplaced one in your opinion. I'd love to debate with you guys if you want. But yeah, till next time guys, it has been your boy Russo NBA, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.